All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Now we're on the YouTube channel, Slingin Dirt Media. We're going to go green flag with Dallas Miller. Dallas, again, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me on the show.
So this is something new for you as well. Have you done any of the podcasts or done any radio interviews or anything yet?
No, you were the first one that's reached out, and I haven't really reached out to anyone, so that's why I was definitely about it. And
yeah.
I don't mind to sit there and talk, and I think it's important as me being young, and I think sometimes people get the wrong mindset of me. I might be a little prick or whatever they seem to think about me, so I think it's good that I do this and make sure they know I have a level head.
So this is definitely a good opportunity for people to get to meet the drivers and say, hey, that's not just a 33 car driving around. Now they actually get to know and put a face to go with that. I've got another guy scheduled to talk to, and he's like, I definitely, he's all excited about it. He says, because people, again, judge him for who he is in the car and don't get to know him outside of the car. And he said, man, I don't want people to just think I'm a asshole or anything like that, but like, okay, we'll fix that. So
yeah, I remember being younger, especially seeing the cars on the track, I could never put a face to them. So I feel like getting older and getting more into social media and the kids and stuff now, this is a great way of doing it.
Right.
So
we'll go back a little bit. So people who didn't see, or hopefully everybody did see the Facebook. You said you didn't do go-karts as a kid, nothing like that. You did some quad racing.
Yep, flat track.
Then you did a Hornet for a little bit.
Yeah, sadly, them things are they'll beat you up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think them are the most unsafe cars out there now. Well, now they've got a lot more money into them, and heck, they race for sometimes more than we race for. So
they do. I mean, some of the stuff down at Screven. I mean, those guys are racing for big money.
Yeah, and then they had like the King of Compacts. And,
yep.
Not that I hate to see that show, but I'm like, man, where's our payouts like that? So,
right. Where's that Merle Downey at?
Yeah, we need a Merle Downey once a month. So.
Yep. So primarily, where have you primarily raced at?
Last year we raced at Lawrenceburg a lot.
Okay.
Which ended up kind of being a mistake. It was pretty hard on our equipment. We like Eldora. I think. That's kind of, I guess you would call our main track because it's close. It's the closest, and we're going to hit every racer, which is only 6 this year. But other than that, Florence, Atomic, Moeller.
So we're what, 10 minutes from Oxford-ish?
Yep.
So is Eldora, is that closer than Lawrenceburg? From here?
No, it's not. Lawrenceburg is the closest, and that's why last year it was.
Yeah,
that's why we went. It was like 45 minutes or so. But once you go, and then, the time you got to work in the shop, beating everything out or whatever it is, I like the track. It's fun when it's smooth with a cushion. I think it's pretty racy, and I think sometimes it could be more fun than Eldora if there's a cushion and it's smooth. I think it feels like you're going 10 times faster, beating it down, but it's just not worth it when you're tearing it up. Like the Merrill, that really, really put us behind. We bent a lot of stuff and tore up a lot. We were fast, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I've come to realize here lately, I guess maybe in the last month or 2 months, it's like how many people I've talked to, and it's like, man, they're like, oh, I love Lawrenceburg, it's one of my favorite tracks, and it's like I just haven't had the opportunity to get there much. I mean, obviously this year I'm going to be there pretty regularly, I guess every week, so I'll get to know that a little more. But it's like, the more people I've talked to that have or been racing there, like, yeah, man, I love that place. So
yeah, it's definitely fun when it's smooth, but it's like when it's rough, I just want to load up and see if I can make it to Florence on time. I mean,
man, I tell you what, I think any track is like that.
Yeah, that's true. And like it is, like every track's going to be rough every now and then. That's cool because at the end of last year, Eldora had one day and it was really, really bad. And, people got on there complaining. But I feel like you can't do that. They try their best, and as long as you try, that's all we ask for. Now, that's the difference at Lawrenceburg. I feel like, not bashing them, but, you go by, you drive by, and you just see them rolling it in. You just see them rolling it in. Like, they don't do nothing else. No tilt up, no nothing. So, from what we see, and I don't know, I feel like at least if they put in a little bit more effort, we'd be able to respect that it's rough, in a sense. So,
well, I don't have anything to do with the track prep.
Yeah.
I know. I know Dave's been doing that a long time. So I don't know his program much yet, but I'm sure I'll get to know it.
Yeah. I know towards the end of the year it does get a little bit smoother, but by that point I'm just so fed up with it. So this year we're maybe be there 3 times, 2 nights to practice to get ready for the Merrill and then hit the Merrill.
Yeah. So I know. Let's see, the
mod at least.
Practice is the March 26th.
Yeah.
So that'll be just around the corner. I think the same night is the Florence Spring 50.
Yeah.
So is there? Are you looking at maybe hitting a practice, shake it down, and then head over to Florence?
I don't know. It depends on when we get our motor. So our motor should be here like March 19th. So I'm hoping to get it a day early, and I'm be able to go to Atomic. So Atomic's got a race at 18th, I'm pretty sure. just to go shake it down or whatever and get a good night in the car. But as long as we get our headers and everything in time, and we'll be ready to rip. We got a pretty big schedule with just the mod, let alone the sprint car and the mod.
Right.
So we ought to be a packed
So where are
year.
you going to be packing that thing to mostly?
Uh,
And which one's going to be the primary ride?
The mod will be the primary, which is good, but also the sprint car runs on different nights. So it's a steel block series, so they'll run on some Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and we'll run the mod Friday, Saturday. So it'll work out, but we'll bounce around Kokomo, Circle City. We do want to run Lawrenceburg a little bit. Obviously, we'll be under power because it's not a 410. It'll just be a steel block.
Yeah.
So it'll still be pretty cool, and I'm just so blessed to have the opportunity to do it. And I'm not sad it's not a 410, but I think it's good that it is what it is, and I'll get used to it. And then
Start
maybe
out
next year
give
we'll
you a
be in
stepping
410.
stone
Yeah.
and get your feet wet to it.
Yeah, because a lot of sprint car guys, they do grow up in go karts or go to the 305, or there are some steps in it where we're just jumping right in.
You're just jumping right in head first.
Yeah. So
Hey,
we'll
why
go to a
not?
lot of practices with that at Brownstown or whatnot, and Moeller, and just be able to get the feel.
Now
of
that
it.
was going to be my next question. The series you're going to run, did they have a date scheduled at Moeller? Because I seen Moeller's got some sprint stuff this year.
I'm not sure if they do. I don't believe so, but I would like for them to. I think the one that they have there is a 305 wing, so I don't think they have any non-wing stuff as of right now. But that they do that every 4 weeks. They do the open practice that Larry does. I think that's really good, and I know we definitely used that to our ability last year when we were having motor issues. We went there and it's $20 or whatever it is, and you get to. I mean, that's all you can last.
You get track time. Yeah,
you get to last the whole time, and it's slick and. You get there before all the legend carts get out there. There's no blue group. It's pretty good. So I think that's really good that Larry does that, and we've definitely used that to our ability.
So we talked about we mentioned that the 26th, Lawrenceburg has their practice, and then Moeller or the Florence is the Spring 50 that day. The very next day, I guess that's the 27th on Sunday, is the open practice at Moeller.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know they got stuff coming up. I'm actually got an idea. I got something in the works. We're trying to plan a. Actually, maybe I don't know if it's going to be our first. We've talked about it. We're going to maybe do a live event at a location, and I've talked with Josh from Florence and Dave from Lawrenceburg, Larry from Moeller, getting all three of those drivers or promoters together, and then sit down with them individually, go live, and maybe do some fan interaction stuff. So that's an event that I hope we can put together. It's going to be maybe the week of that open practice for everybody in Spring 50 for Florence. So that'd be a good opportunity for those guys to get to promote what they got going and coming up and stuff. So that'd be good. You don't get to see the promoters sit down in the same area and do some interaction, have like a social event and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's
that'll be
something
definitely good. I'll definitely watch that one.
So hopefully, I've got a date in mind. We'll see if it all works out. Still got to lock down the venue and make sure that's good with them. So you're talking about some Eldora stuff.
Yeah, I love that track. That track's so much fun. We just started going there this year, and everyone complains about not having the fire bottle and stuff. It's so worth it. That track's so smooth and it's fun, and you race with good people and fast people, and I don't know. Definitely so glad we went there. Me and Brad and Alan went there this year, and we went to every race after that. So,
so big fan of Eldora.
Oh yeah, I think that it definitely taught me a lot too. You think some stuff at some tracks, and heck, we took our Lawrenceburg shit up there and we ran pretty good. So I think our second night there, we won our heat. The first night we got bound up and tore up a bunch of stuff, but our second night there we won our heat and started pole. So that was pretty cool. And I mean, we didn't stay there very long till Strimmy got around us, but it was just still cool to start up there and being young and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that place it's got a lot of history, and it usually races pretty well.
Yeah, the sliders in 3 and 4, then things are notorious. Stremmy, he's really good at that. So is Ruhlman, and I don't know. I just feel like racing around them people. Them are the people that I want to race against. I don't want to go to some. Not to name any names, but low-ball tracks and go get a win and let me post it on Facebook and with my $400 check. I don't want to do that. I don't, I want to go race with the best guys out there and learn, because I feel like that's what I need to do during these years of my life.
That's exactly what Adam was saying when we were sitting talking to him. He's like, man, I don't want to just race with anybody. He says, I want to race against the best of the best and be able to learn from them and compete with those guys and be best of the best.
Yeah, and I feel like Adam is definitely up there, and he definitely shows that when he does go to them bigger shows, because when he's
always a contender.
Yeah, when he goes and wins at Moeller every night, I feel like people look back at that and they're like, man, why isn't he going anywhere else? Well, it's a Friday night, nowhere else is racing.
It's a Friday night. It's 15 minutes from his house.
Why would you want to travel for something under $1,500 or even $2,000? So.
Yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense. It's sort like Michael said. Vern has said he didn't go to Brownstown for years because he couldn't justify us driving by a racetrack just to go drive another hour and a half to go to another one.
Yeah, and pays big. Not that we're in this to make money, but
Sure.
it's hard. And us mod guys, late models they spend a lot of money, but us mod guys spend a lot of money too. So
Yeah.
when we go and we're racing for $1,000,
That's big money for you guys.
yeah, and that's like sad in a sense because come on, like that's nothing compared to what we spend.
So speaking of spending, tire prices going up, things like that.
Yeah, I've been buying them. Been trying to buy them weekly so it doesn't hurt the bank as bad, and just keep them stored. And like all the tires we got from last year, we'll just practice on. So because
are you having an issue getting any tires?
No, Jenny Weber. I just definitely want to give her a shout out. She's definitely been taking good care of me and making sure I'm getting what I want. And,
Weber out of Coyote Chassis.
Yep.
Okay.
She's been real good to me, and
my boy B Web, got you, bro.
But she's been good. So I've just been buying a little bit here and there. So when we do come and from what I know, that they just made 70%. They're going to make 70% of what they made last year. So right now we'll be fine. But so it's just all comes down to if you're prepared or not. Halfway through the season when we run out of tires. So.
Now, have you been to any tracks or have you bolted on any of the American racers?
I know
there's some tracks down south.
Yeah, I would love to because I've heard them things are amazing. And Jesse was saying when you guys talked, they need to make another tire. They need to, American Racing needs to be able to go to these tracks that Hoosier, bought out or whatever it is, and compete for a good tire. So us guys don't pay $162 for a tire, and we get to run it once.
I know there's some tracks, some local tracks. Again, I'm not throwing people under the bus, but I know there are tracks that are talking about opening up and maybe starting with their late models and see how that goes.
Yes,
so if that does happen, it could take a year or so before the mods start seeing them. But at least they're entertaining the idea of it, and checking the options. And I mean, you got to think that's at least a step in the right direction, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Because like I said, I mean, not that all these tires are bad. I mean, we got 30s and 60s. That's all we bounce between. And, either 30 gets, too hot if you're running it, if it's black slick, or a 60, you're just sitting there pounding on it, trying to get heat in it the whole race.
Right.
So.
Like, I know Florence had the rule for a while. I think they've changed now, but I think the right rear, you had to have a 60 on
they
all
changed
night
it,
long.
Yeah. In Lawrenceburg now, I mean, it's always been you had to have a 60, and I think they have that. I think Dave said to slow them down for their heat races and stuff because the track's so big. But
the thing that I liked about
holes,
the thing that I liked about it is it kept everybody in equal field. There wasn't a guessing game. It at least took that out of it. So you knew you wasn't having to guess. It was like, hey, everybody's going to be on this.
I mean, I'm fine with whatever. You're that's part of racing. You're going to have to adjust around stuff like that, rules or whatever it is. But I just wish they would last longer. Because it's just too much money to throw away.
Yeah.
So
I know
we're American racers. You can have sit in your shed for 3 months and go run them, smack them on and be just as fast. So.
Yeah, I know that was Jesse had said he had some problems with some of his late model tires. He said, you run 8 laps and you just junked a set of tires on the back. So
I don't think our mod tires are quite that bad. I know some people complain, but I don't. I won't even go through a whole sipe in a race or even 2 races on a right rear where people will chew them up. So I think that tires are a concern this year, and they were a concern last year, but we're not really hard on our stuff. So. Yeah. I don't know why they allowed us to be able to groove them. That's just way more time that Anthony, my tire guy, has to do. So that's on him. But siping's enough time, let alone grooving them also.
Right.
So.
And again, that's another variable that you've got to now factor in. Did that help, or did we make the right grooves? Did we choose the right pattern, or whatever?
Yeah, I think we got enough people that help us. So I'm not really worried about that. That some people have been grooving in previous years and figured some stuff out. We definitely have a lot of people that. Look out for us and help us, and Brad.
Well, that's good. That's good. You got some help. I know you don't. I know you don't come from a background of having a big name and a whole lot of help and a lot of people, but having some is definitely got to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely, and that's why, like I say, Brad. He's definitely one that took me up under him, and he's taught me everything he knows. At least try. Yeah, I'm still learning a lot. There's a lot, but
I'd say you probably still got some learning to
do. Yeah, everything I know, he's taught me. So pretty much between him and Alan and Dad or whatever, and I don't know. Definitely thankful for it, because if not, this stuff's there's a lot to learn, and once you learn it, there's new stuff out. So.
Oh yeah, it's constantly a revolving door. This stuff is constantly changing.
Yeah.
So is there a plan? Is there ever a point where you'd like to be on a late model, or is this more the direction of going toward the sprints?
I don't know. Honestly, probably a late model just because it's some closer to a mod than a sprint car is farther out there. And
Stock car.
yeah, before we bought this car, we seen a complete XR1 on Facebook for right at what we'd be spending at this pretty much. It was used and stuff. So it made us debate, but just the weekly pay of it and stuff, and that's one thing too. Like, you go and you finish last in a late model, you're still okay. You're not making money, but it's more than you go finish 5th in a mod.
Right.
At Lawrenceburg, you're gonna get like $120 or whatever it is. So that's pretty bad. It's time your tire.
Right.
So
definitely something you got to look at.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know, maybe next year or the year after or whatever. I don't know. I want to be able to like be content with, okay, I'm good in my mod. Let's move up because.
Yeah.
In the last couple of years, I have so much more to prove, motor issues and stuff like that. And I do the work. We're in the garage all the time, and that's where these guys lack. They want to go to the track and complain that they're not running up front, but they're not working. They're with their family, which is fine, but don't go to the track and complain.
Right.
So
what's it? Hot Carl says, watch your own bobber and work on your stuff.
Yeah, and that's important. I think that maintenance is so important, and being involved with your race car as a driver is extremely important. And I think a lot of people miss it, either whether they have money and want to skip over it or whatever it is. So.
I always felt, I was fortunate enough. I felt like, the equipment that I had back when I used to race, I was nowhere near what some of the other guys had, and I looked at some of the guys that I was racing against and side by side with, and it definitely wasn't that I knew or anything or I was the best driver in the world, but I paid attention to a lot of little details, and I figured I feel like that really put me probably 5 spots ahead of where I should have been running, or maybe guys that should have been beating me. Maybe they wasn't paying as much attention to their stuff, but because I paid attention to those details, that's maybe helped. I don't know.
I definitely think it does because people don't, really want to get into that detail in it, and they just want to go race their race car on a Saturday night, and which is fine. But like I said, just don't complain about it. I love the people that go out there and they do it for fun. I would love to do that. I can't, so I have to spend all my money.
It's still a business. It's still a business.
Yeah, it is, and I'm thankful to have the equipment I have. I have good equipment, especially for being as young as I am, and people that believe in me and backing. And
so how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay.
So. Look like I'm 12. I'm 18.
You might look like you're 12.
Yeah, I get that all the time. But
you're used to it.
Yeah, used to it by now. So especially up at Eldora, we do the autograph thing or whatever, and so many people come. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? I just want to mess with them back. 13.
I'm 8.
Yeah, 8. Okay,
I'm
not that.
I'm
bad,
really big
but,
for my age.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely blessed to have all the stuff that I do have, and able to order new Mullins this year, and Jacoby gave us a good deal on this Diamond, and able just to get some good equipment, and hopefully it stays together. I'm sure it will. Diamonds are really good cars, and not many people have problems with them. Ryan does good work.
Yeah, Ryan puts out a pretty good product, you know, and he's pretty particular about his stuff.
Yeah, he's been, I've talked to him on the phone. We plan to go up and see him. I haven't had a single problem with him. Jacoby's been good. Email me this, email me that on the phone, call me then, whatever.
Right.
And that's the people that you have to keep in your back pocket all the time. So
the people that are taking care of you, you need to surround yourself with good people by the best of the best, and that's going to put you at your best as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got some plans, Eldora, some Lawrenceburg, maybe some Florence, Moeller action.
Yeah. Atomic is going to be pretty big for us because
Atomic.
Yeah, they got all their races. I think it's minimum of 1,000, and I think they have like a minimum of 200 to start or something like that.
Okay.
I'm probably wrong on that, but it's somewhere around there that they upped that me and Brad were talking about this year, and
now,
that is just what we want. Not that we're not going to go win, but I feel like it's more comfortable.
Now I don't know the guy's name, but they got a new promoter out there, don't they?
They do, and I don't remember his name neither.
Yeah,
but yeah, they do.
Yeah, I've just seen some of the stuff on Facebook. I haven't got to reach out to him and haven't been out there. I work with Mike, the announcer, which he's not the announcer anymore, so he's going to was it Shady Bowl?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So what about Brush Creek or Portsmouth?
Portsmouth,
maybe?
Yeah, Portsmouth. I don't know really about Brush Creek. The texture of the dirt seems a little bit different there, but I want to go also to mention to any of the big Renegade races. Like they have a 12,000 win. It's unannounced as of right now, and a 7,000 somewhere. And I don't know, just like Adam said, I want to go where the big guys are. And heck, if I don't make it, I'll sit there and not make it for 10 more times until I make it.
Right.
And instead of let me just go feel good and go finish second at wherever.
Right. You'll get your laps in and you'll figure out what works for you, and I feel like you're going to get there.
Yeah, and with this new car, that's why yeah, I love to race, and it's a lot, but I think it's so important this year to have a packed schedule, learn the car, and learn everything. Because I feel like if I don't have a bunch of wins, when I'm 20, I'm like, man, what am I doing here? But yeah, I don't know. I think not really that wins are important as long as we're placing good and stuff. But I do believe we are able to win a lot of races.
Able to win a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to throw a yellow flag. We're going to take a quick break.
Perfect.
We'll call this our part 1. So when we actually upload and put this on, then there could be followed up by a part 2-ish kind of
Gotcha.
thing. So we're going to take a quick break, let everybody stretch their legs, clear their throats, whatever, and we'll
a
come back
cig.
and talk to Dallas some more. I think maybe his dad may have had some
Oh.
comments, or no, that was just a teaser. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, throw a yellow flag, and we'll be back shortly. Thanks.